All right, guys, so it's been a long time, but we're back with another episode of the Brown Ballers podcast. It's a special one. I'm in my city of Edmonton. We haven't done one in here in probably over a year. And I got two gentlemen with me, Sonny and Canny. Sorry, I was going to say Canwar, but you will go by Canny by short. And they're two of the gentlemen who helped bring South Asian Night to the Edmonton Oilers of the NHL for the first time ever in history for our city. So, gentlemen, how you guys doing?
Doing great. Excited.
Before we get started, I'm going to switch it up a little bit. Could we just get a quick introduction to each of you guys? Sonny, if you want to kick it off first.
Yeah, absolutely. My name's Sonny Sakon, born and raised in Edmonton. Have spent over 30 years in ice and ball hockey, coaching, playing. I played ice hockey growing up, Southwest Zone, and then Southside Athletic Club, switched into ball hockey and never left. Last 10, 15 years, I've been playing predominantly on like South Asian teams, Punjabi teams. We were lucky we got to do Indo Cup, PEL,
Nice.
Played in PBHL, and really like found a way to help grow hockey through that community. Professionally, I worked at Henry Singer for 15 years and with Free Play for Kids.
Incredible, man. So you're basically a pro.
I like to think I'm a pro at hockey.
Canny, how about you?
Yeah, my name's Canny Sandhu. Raised in Edmonton, past 29 years of my life. I've played ice hockey since whenever I can remember. Shortly after the dream died, I ended up joining a ball hockey team with Sonny over here, and I've never left. Currently, I'm injured right now, but I can't wait to get back on the field. Just waiting to get cleared. Professionally, I'm a student at law right now at Spadell Law Office,
Nice.
and I'm just finishing my term, and can't wait to get called to the bar.
Amazing, man. So young man still, which is great. How old are you?
I'm 29.
And Sonny, how old are you again, sorry?
37.
That's cool, man. It's cool to see that you guys coming together as well. So before we get started, a couple quick, fun, rapid-fire questions. Whoever wants to take it can take it. If you guys both want to do it, feel free. Favorite current NHL player?
Connor McDavid.
I figured. What you got?
It's a tough one, but I'd have to say Draisaitl right now.
Draisaitl, yeah. I mean, you guys basically named the one-two punch, right? Everybody's favorite. I got to do some stuff for the culture. So if you guys could take any NHL player right now and put them into a flourishing Bollywood career, who would be that athlete? Which NHL player could translate to that world?
I think Evander Kane would just step in and crush it.
Honestly, like outside of Edmonton Oilers, I think Alex Ovechkin could just crush it. Like the man does it all. You know, he plays soccer, plays a little bit of football. Have you seen his golf swing?
I have it. It's nice.
Hole in one. His first shot, yeah.
So he's a multi-talented man. I like it. My last rapid-fire question for you guys is, I know you guys probably been to Guru downtown, some good Indian food. So if it's you two and three NHL players, whether they're retired or current, who would you want joining you guys at that table for dinner?
Retired or current? Obviously, I would invite McDavid. I'll keep with the Edmonton theme. I would probably get Gretzky to come out and join us. And I'd have Larocque join us. Got to meet Larocque at the Black History celebration. He's just a character. I think it'd be fun to sit and eat with him.
I like that. Any changes? You happy with that?
Uncle Larocque is the best. I definitely want to sit in with him and Gretzky. But another guy that I heard he has a bunch of stories would be Sergei Fedorov.
Wow, that's a huge throwback, bro.
Yeah.
Detroit Red Wings days?
Oh, yeah.
Wow, okay. I like that.
I mean, the guy did it all. He was driving planes, and he was playing hockey. He was living the good life.
That's legit. You guys are NHL buffs, which I obviously appreciate. So let's get into it. You guys, again, have brought South Asian Night for the first time ever to the Edmonton Oilers in our city of Edmonton. It's a big deal. I think it's like something amazing. So let's kind of talk about everything you guys have been doing. The first question I have is, who are the people that actually did this? I'm assuming it's you two, of course. Mm-hmm. Who else was a part of bringing this vision and making it a reality?
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, it doesn't happen if OEG, the Oilers, don't have an appetite for it. I think they've been leaders in equity, diversity, inclusion before it was even like a term that we used.
Right.
Going back to the teams and the players that they selected and the people they put in position. So without them, first and foremost, it doesn't happen. And then I think going back, like it's other teams in the league that had done stuff like this first. You know, the San Jose Sharks, the Canucks, the Jets. You know, setting the table that this can happen. But specifically to Edmonton, I think Canny and Jesse Nerval, Sonny Nerval, Tony Brar, Sabrina Parmar, and Shami Dhaliwal were the guys that we leaned on over the course of like the last year. And then there's community partners that we talked to quite a bit as well, like up in a hockey and like Turn, and making sure, and too many people to name to just make sure that we're doing right by the community and the culture, right?
Of course.
So,
no, that's incredible. So like, was there a singular person who had the initial idea, or was there some of you that kind of just came together like, yo, we need to make this happen?
So essentially, it was Jesse Nerval that had the idea. He saw that the San Jose Sharks, I believe they did a Visaki night.
Okay.
And then he brought it to our attention. He said, you know what, like, this is great. This is amazing. Why aren't the Edmonton Oilers doing this? And I was like, that's a great idea.
Yep.
And then he was just like, what are the next steps? What can we do? And he definitely tried to reach out to a few people to get the ball rolling, but he hit a couple walls. And then what we did after was we included Sonny in it. Sonny definitely has connections with the Oilers, you know, in his professional line of work. And we started there. And then luckily enough, one of the ticket sales agents came by to Sonny and Jesse's office, and he was just trying to sell season tickets, but Sonny sold him on the idea that, hey, like, listen, like, we have a great idea. Would you be interested? And then that's it. We just got our first meeting there, and we all started to get the ball rolling.
That's crazy. What was the time frame from maybe like concept or idea to like basically, you know, next week the game happening? Was it just a short time? Was it a year or longer?
It's been over a year. Like when, at least for when I got included. So Kenny, Jesse, and Sonny, they reached out to me like last October with this idea, and I loved it.
Yeah.
And so we kind of had this preliminary discussion with Phil at the Oilers, just what it could be. And I think we caught them all off guard by like how excited we were and how willing everybody was to just roll up the sleeves and work. You know, Jesse had a term that was like, we don't want a field trip. We want the community to be proud.
Yes.
And Jesse and we would always just say, Phil, just let us make you look good. Like, we'll do whatever it takes. And then unfortunately, like, you know, probably got a little ahead of ourselves last year and what the organization was ready for. So it was pushed back.
Okay. Yeah.
And then first meetings for this year were actually in August. We got together at OEG and then with the broader group and community partners in September. Several meetings across the way, daily conversations with that group. And yeah, now we're 5 days away. So
bringing it to fruition finally.
Yeah.
How does it feel? Like, just honestly speaking, because like I've done some stuff in the past to where it's 1 year, 2 year, maybe 3 years, and then you finally get that moment. Obviously, the day of, you guys, it'll probably be a blur. You'll enjoy it, but who knows what'll happen that day? It'll probably just go by so fast for you. Mm-hmm. But it's actually like what do you guys feel like inside? Like just seeing it come to fruition, seeing the logo, doing some of the things behind the scenes. What's the excitement like?
For me, it's like pride. Like it's until I physically picked up and saw the logo on like a garment that I knew was going to be in there. It's like it doesn't feel like real life yet, right? Like the logos went digital, and you know, digital. It's like a lot of stuff we see behind screens isn't real life yet. But like for me, I'm a little older than the guys. I like holding this thing in my hand. I'm like, this is happening, and I'm obviously excited and proud for our group, but like I'm just so excited for the community and for the Oilers and for really like the world. Like North America is going to watch this and see like this oil patch city that has all kinds of like hilarious stereotypes can be a leader in EDI and inclusivity, and what better way to show it?
Absolutely, I totally agree. Speaking of the logo, and I want to touch on some of this stuff a little bit here. We were lucky and fortunate enough to do like a small South Asian night last year with the Edmonton Stingers, and I found when I was doing that, the hardest part for me, and I wanted this is the question I have for you guys, is how do you make it authentic, and how do you make sure that it's not just like an event, or this is not just something that was thrown together, but like something, like you said, the community and the culture can be proud of. Like, what did you guys think of when putting this together to ensure like that could happen?
Yeah, given that it was the first challenge, and we had this very honest discussion with the Oilers about, you know, the name, like calling it a South Asian celebration is different than calling it like a Visaki night or Diwali night or Holy night, whatever.
Agreed, yeah.
Right? Like, because all of those different things might have religious connotations, even though different religions would celebrate the same things. So we tried to explain to him that like wrapping a logo or a night around South Asia, where there's 16 countries, couple billion people, 10 religions, hundreds of different languages and dialects, will be a challenge. And so to make sure we did it right is we just had lots of conversations, right? And we had lots of conversations with the primary stakeholders, the Oilers. We had lots of conversations amongst ourselves. And when we didn't know an answer, we would seek people that could answer the question. And that was talking to the Somali community, the Muslim community, the Hindu community. And because, again, with the South Asian celebration, someone's going to be left out and feel offended because this is the first one and there's a finite amount of space.
Right.
But the hope is, rather than being offended, look to next year and be part of the future. And because with Runway, when done right, we can make sure that people are represented the way they should be.
Right. So obviously we're going to air this post game. So the first thing I want to talk about is the logo. And I believe you guys said Sonny was the designer behind it, right? Yep. But are you guys able to speak on some of the, just like the detailing or the concept behind the logo?
Well, yeah, I can speak briefly to it. What we did is we obviously took the Edmonton Oilers logo and then we incorporated a peacock, which we thought would represent South Asia. Mm-hmm. And right here we have these like 5 oil drops, which represent the 5 Stanley Cups that the Edmonton Oilers have won.
That's a nice touch.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I think I'm not a creative person, other than like I guess clothing, but like first off, I was shocked that Sonny could draw. I've known the guy since he was a kid, so I was ripping on him the whole time when he said he's going to draw the logo, and he draws this thing, and we're like, whoa! And then we have to give a shout out to JC, one of Sonny's friends, who was able to take like our concept that we talked about and digitize it, and take it to another level. But the peacock, it's an animal that I think a lot of people think of South Asia, and the cliches are like you think of a tiger and elephant. So we didn't want to go to the obvious.
Yeah.
And the peacock is everywhere in South Asia, and it shows up in every religion. It shows up in every, and like when you look at the feathers, and the 5 feathers in the bottom, like the details, that also inspires so much of like the pattern and the artistry, right? So we're like, this is kind of like an easy one. And I know I remember when they first brought it out, I was like, this is sick. But I actually was like, I don't think the Oilers are going to go for it, because unless you're South Asian, who really gets the peacock reference, right? So when the Oilers were stoked on it, we were all like very excited.
That's incredible.
Yeah. But yeah, it's, I don't know. Can you flip it around, Kenny? Like there are other elements too, like the lotus flower with the feathers, and like again honoring the Oilers, like oil drop, and just I mean the colors kind of work, like orange and blue are. Like I guess
classic Oilers colors.
Yeah, they're quite prominent all throughout South Asia, but yeah.
No, it's beautiful. So then obviously on the day of 2, I think I've seen the Canucks and some other teams and things do it, but will there be apparel available for people to buy in the arena with the logo on it?
Yeah, so that's cool. It's we were told it should be there by March 18th. Kenny, maybe you want to flip it again to the other logo. So the logo that they're going to focus on is of course this one. But yeah, I mean, based on what we've seen in the past, I would anticipate a hoodie, a shirt of some kind. They've done pucks, mini sticks, glasses. And then the cool thing about that is that one of the things our group was able to do was we were able to select a charitable component.
Nice. Yep.
So proceeds from the merch sales go to supporting a cause. So in this case, we picked Welcome to Play, which is a program that Free Play runs, which deals specifically with refugees, and most of the kids in Welcome to Play are actually from Afghanistan. So it's like perfect glove fits.
Yeah.
They're being introduced into hockey, and it's just cool that the Oilers will do something like that. So
no, it's incredible, man. And obviously, like there's been a couple of NHL teams. I think the Canucks were the most recent one that have done this, right? I don't know if you guys are able to say it. I guess you can, because this will air past the game. Mm-hmm. What are some of the things that we can expect to see, or maybe some things you guys are planning that will happen during the game or before or after to kind of celebrate, this unique celebration?
Yeah, like again, I'm sure this will get cut out. I can tell you exactly what's going to happen the night of. So there's going to be like a pre-party, right? You're going to walk in, and they're trying to set the tone of a South Asian night. So you're going to walk through Ford Hall, and you're going to hear Punjabi music, Hindi music. You're going to hear it all, and you're going to have one of Edmonton's top dance groups, like setting the tone on concourse. You're gonna have Hunter leading the way, dressed in the full court, the pajama. There's gonna be some food and drink elements inspired by like the region.
Amazing.
Again, hard to wrap it all up into a night. I'm not gonna say, Jasmine Singh is gonna be the anthem singer. So she's a local rising star artist that absolutely kills it.
Nice.
I was at her rehearsal, and so she'll be singing the national anthem. They're gonna feature 3 community leaders on ice in their honor guard, and then throughout the game, there's gonna be 4 community spotlights on different people that have done different things, not just in hockey, but like in the city, and that people should know about. What else we got going on? Harnarayan Singh is going to be there, so
Legend,
he's going to come and call the game. He'll be with Gene at the intermission. Up in a Hockey is going to have 10 kids, I believe, on ice during the intermission, so showcasing youth from the community. And then Up in a Hockey is going to be activating a space on the concourse so that, if you have a desire to see or meet more of like lots and lots and lots and lots of kids and youth doing good things in sport, you can see and connect there, or find information on how to get your kids in hockey. I think that's kind of
solid, man. It's a lot of good stuff going on.
Yeah. And for us, again, the committee wanted, if the committee was allowed to, we would have had more stuff, right? But
I can imagine, yeah.
It was a really good thing we learned this year. First thing we learned is this is one of 41 home games, right?
Right.
And so it matters a lot to us,
deal.
and it matters a lot to them for sure, but they also have other things. And then just honestly understanding how every second is planned in this game, right? Like not just ours, in every game,
the TV
right?
schedule's crazy, right?
Yeah, and when you start to peel back the layers, it's like you have to report the NHL, you've duty to your sponsors, commercials, so we started to get a better idea of why there are so many no's, because there's just quite literally not the space. So that'll be learning for us for next year.
No, it's incredible, man. It's going to be exciting to see what you guys obviously do on this one and then kind of build it up from there. I appreciate you guys coming on. I want to keep this really light and just chill, and obviously give you guys the spotlight that you deserve. Hopefully next year we'll get everyone in here. We'll do something nice and big.
For sure.
But I always like to put you guys on the spot. The guests on the spot a little bit at the end. Obviously, you guys know we have Brown Ballers, sports platform for South Asian athletes. Would you give some words of wisdom or a word of advice for the next generation of South Asian athletes coming up? Could be anything. Doesn't have to be hockey related or for the event, just in general for them.
Yeah, I think don't let your ego get in the way ever. Put the work in. If you're struggling, ask for help and just keep going. I think whether you're trying that in sport or becoming a young lawyer, take the ego out of the way. If you need help, ask, and then put in the work.
I love it. Kenny, you got something? You give us something to end off with, bro. End this podcast for us.
For sure. I think at the end of the day, hard work is everything. If you work hard, you can break barriers. You can do anything you want. Biggest thing that I've noticed right now, Arshdeep Bains for Vancouver Canucks.
Yep.
He worked so hard, and look at him. He made a debut. I think he was the fourth Indo South Asian.
I think it was fourth.
Yeah, he was the fourth, right? And just look at him. He just kept working hard, put his head down, and I'm sure he had good role models along the way. Whenever you're in a tough situation, you can always ask for help. And I feel like a lot of people forget that, I've been fortunate enough where even during when I was playing, I had Sonny over here, and if I ever needed some advice, whether it was sports, whether it was outside of sports, he was always there willing to lend a hand.
I love it, man. Look, thank you guys so much for coming on. I appreciate your time today, and we're excited to see what you guys do for South Asian Night. Obviously, just watching it on TV and experiencing all the videos, the photos, the social media is gonna go crazy, I'm sure. So again, congrats to you guys. I know the rest of the team's not here, so congrats to them too. Hopefully in the future we'll do a lot more together.
That'd be awesome. Thank you for having us.